Looky here, what do we got here? Got us a circle track car. This is my son-in-law Michael Daniel's car. That's him there and his dad right there. This car's up in Idaho. We got a race down in Las Vegas at the end of November. And so we came up here today. Well, I came up here yesterday to pick the car up. And it needed a few more things, so we thrashed on it yesterday. I couldn't video any of that because there's some top secret stuff. No, actually, we just got so busy yesterday doing stuff, I didn't have time to bust out the camera. Yeah, a little Honda K24 engine in there. And I don't know what all is going to be up and down in Vegas. I hear there's going to be Toyotas and other engines running, so we'll see how that goes, see how we do. But right now, we're fixing to scale the car and get it all ready to go. And we actually, I think we have a test day. We can go to the track today and run it. And that's what we're hoping. That's what we are told. So hopefully we can go to the track and run it and make sure it actually works okay. And then we're going to load it up, go back home to Salt Lake, do some more little odds and ends to it, and then go race at the end of the month down to Vegas. I'm going to try to catch video of that. So that's what I've been doing lately. And we're running around, so I'll make more video later. See ya. Alright, well, we are right in the middle of Meridian, Idaho. We're right in the middle of town, and there's a racetrack here. That's pretty cool. So we're the only ones here. We get to do some testing today, which is pretty cool. They just opened the track. Well, they're always here, but they let us in just to do some testing. So we're going to see if everything we did was worth it. I've never been here, so while they're getting the car ready, I don't think I can see anything right there. I don't know where I'm going. But yeah, racetrack right in the middle of town. This is kind of what we had in Salt Lake City, Utah for a while. Well, actually West Valley City, Utah. Our racetrack was kind of in the middle of West Valley. But apparently warehouse facilities are a lot more important than racetrack, so we lost our racetrack back in 2018. Check this out. I'm not sure what the angle looks like, but there it is. So yeah, there's that. There's a tower. So I'll try to get some video of the car running here shortly. Hopefully we make some good laps. We got to get out of here and get back home, and it's a 5 hour, probably 5.5 hour pull home. So I'll get this back on as soon as he gets on the track.
No, he doesn't.
He hasn't ran this car since 2018, I believe. So, like I say, we got the upgraded computer and different intake. I don't know what all else has changed on it, but let's see if he remembers how to drive it.
Remember how to start it?
Yeah. Where's a good standing spot? I'm not sure where we can stand, so I'll follow these guys. I guess right here. Okay, I'm gonna try to zoom in. That might work. Quite tell where the camera's pointed because the screen is hard to see, but I think I got him. We might have too much gear.
Way more power than he's ever had it.
Yeah. We did lower the gear. We might need to put a higher gear in it.
You want to talk? Just push that button.
made some adjustments. The car's running excellent. Had to make a brake adjustment. Same issue's been plaguing us since we've had this car's brakes. We've always just, the brakes have sucked. So we think we got it to where it's going to work now. It has a dual master cylinder. One master cylinder for the rear brake and one master cylinder for the front brakes. And it has a goofy bias adjustment that we've never liked. But the brake pedal never had enough throw, so it seemed like the bias adjuster, which is right, I'll show you a quick view of that. Piece of crap right there. It would like self-adjust a few years ago when he was running, well, a few years ago when he used to run it, it was self-adjust, so the bias would go all the way to the back. We'd heat the fluid up, then there's no brakes. So anyway, we think we got that fixed. We kind of bent some stuff and made it work. The car's running great, and we just made another adjustment on the suspension a little bit. Car's freaking fast. I think they'll make it a little bit faster. We think we're banging off the rev limiter. The tach says 7100, rev limiter set for 8000. So clearly I think the tach is messed up because every time it comes in it says 7100. It's one of those digital tachs, so who knows what it's really doing. I seriously think the tach is effed up, but whatever. We also have a little bit too much gear in it because we weren't sure what to put in right now, so we'll take a little bit of gear out of it. The car is fast, but he's buckling up now. I better help him buckle up and I'll get some video of it on the track, so hang tight. Alright, here we go.
Cold tires?
Oh yeah, cold tires. It's kind of chilly. Shoot, what is it out about? It's in the 50s now or what? Degrees, so a little cold side, but those tires will warm up. To get loaded up here pretty quick and head back to Salt Lake. Got a 5.5 hour drive, and it's already late in the day. I don't know what time it is, but it's getting late. So anyway, I'm gonna end it here, and we'll see the car in Vegas at the end of November, and kind of go from there. Take it easy. So here we are, just getting the car ready to get out of town to Vegas. Doing a lot of cleaning up and fixing some odds and ends. Went through, bled the brakes again, which we got the brake pedal situated now, so I think we're good there. Greased everything up. Packed the wheel bearing, or packed the bearings back there. Moved all that up. Still got a lot to do. Got to rescale the car, obviously, when it's all done. Oh, did you get your floor on? Oh no, okay. He made a new floor for it because the old floor was toast. It drug the ground a little bit over the years. And that's Michael. That's going to be driving. Honda Power K24. When is the race? We got 2 weeks, right? Week and a half?
Yeah, we're going to leave the 29th, Wednesday, the end of November. Go get moved in, down at the track. What we're being told is they have designated pit spots for all the teams, so we don't know exactly where we're going to end up. They kind of have us grouped by class. So we'll do that Wednesday. Also being told we're not going to be able to do anything to the car on Wednesday. They're just getting everybody moved in.
Oh yeah, I read that. It was parking day only Wednesday.
And then Thursday, they will have, very first thing in the morning, they'll have tire selection. So we pre-order our tires, and kind of the way they do it is they get an inventory of how many people are coming and how many tires everybody needs. And then you will pick your tires based off of the stagger that you want to run. And it's kind of a luck of the draw. So most of the tires will all be the same size, but the stagger that you get out of them will change. So the front tires, they'll go up in like 1/4 inch increments. So depending on what you want to run, and the way that it works for pick is the entry spot that you pre-registered for the race determines your tire pick. So they've put a register list out so we know who's coming, but don't know exactly what order everybody registered. However, the second I found out about this race, within I think the same day or maybe the next day, I got registered. So hopefully we get first pick of tires and can get it figured out. So that'll be Thursday, and then Friday we got practice sessions. Be able to work on the car, get it all figured out, and then Friday we'll have more practice. We'll do single car qualifying, which is really cool. A lot of times they'll do group qualifying, do 5 or 6 laps at a time, take your best lap out of the session. But this event they're doing single car 2 lap, so you get the green flag, come around, you get 2 full laps, and your best time
That'll be cool.
is your qualifying position. So pretty excited about that. Single car qualifying is always, it adds to the excitement, makes it dramatic. Every car at a time, and the numbers start popping up on the board, and you get up on the board and hope you stay there. So so we'll do that Friday or Saturday, probably afternoon, and then Saturday night we'll have main events. So obviously we're running the midgets. The feature for the show is the wing sprint cars, and they have a ton of entries. There are upwards of 80 cars coming from all over the country. So they're most likely going to have A, B, C, and maybe even D mains. You have to qualify into the main event. Right now we're entered. We'll start 26 cars, and we're right about there. I think we have a couple spots to spare before we've got to start running heat races to make it in the main. But looks like right now everybody that shows up in a midget should make the race. Obviously, then you'll just your qualifying will determine where you're starting the race. But we're gonna have a 50 lap main event, which is pretty much the limit of what these cars can do on fuel and tires. Tires we're running are a little bit different than what we normally ran. They're gonna be a softer compound, so they're not gonna last as long. They're gonna be really fast. So 50 lap race should be really good. Should make for some really good, exciting racing. Obviously we've been out of the car for, gosh, a handful of years. It's been since the end of 2017 was the last race that we ran the whole night. We tried to run a race in 2018, and unfortunately kind of got taken out in both the heat race and like a lap into the main event. So I don't really count that as our last race, but super looking forward to get back in the car. We made a name for ourselves. I mean, obviously if you look here on the West Coast for the Midget Series, without digging into the record book, we're probably one of the all-time winningest midget teams, and I think that's really going to help us out. It's been years since we've been in the car, but we've raced Vegas a whole bunch. It's really similar to the local track we used to have here that closed down a few years ago. So we have hundreds and hundreds of laps between Vegas and a very similar track. So I think that's going to help us a lot. There's 4 or 5 guys coming from all over the country that are the top premier guys in really the whole world right now for midget and open wheel racing. And really have no idea how we're going to stack up against them. A few of the guys we've never raced against. A couple of them we've raced against way back. So really excited to see how our Honda K24 power car is going to stack up.
That's right. We're running the Honda motor. What other kind of engines are going to be out there?
So there's going to be all kinds of stuff. There's going to be like full-blown race Toyota motors. There's going to be a lot of S-Slingers. There's going to be some Ford Fontana motors, and it's kind of a mix. So this race is a little different compared to what we normally raced. So our series we normally raced was a sealed spec motor class that allowed a Ford Focus 2.0 Z-Tech motor. And after running those for a whole bunch of years, Honda stepped up as a title sponsor and became what would be predecessor to the Focus motor. So basically what they did is we ran a restrictor plate in the intake manifold to restrict it down to the 185 horsepower that the Ford Focus cars were. And obviously they did a whole bunch of testing before they released that to make sure they were equal. Because this is a bigger motor, it does make more power. So they had to make sure that it was really equal playing field. So we raced it with the Focus cars for, I don't know, 2015, 16, and then what we did in 17 and 18. So we got 3 or 4 years of comparable driving with them. It was really comparable. We actually never even ran a lap time quite as fast in this as we did with our Focus motor. I actually had a track record at one point with the Focus motor. We got really close. We know the times were comparable, but what made this motor really cool, the whole idea was we were going to be able to run a restrictor plate, run with the Focus cars, to be able to run with our local series and kind of chase around different races. And then we're going to be able to pull the restrictor plate out and run about a 225 horsepower class, which for the midgets they call Division 2, which is more. There's more spec motors that are in that horsepower range. They're factory-based production motors. So the idea was eventually we would pull a restrictor plate out and become a Division 2 series. Well, kind of with everything with the racetrack closing and kind of with, racing just taking a hit over the years, those plans didn't really come to light. So this race we're going to, is what they call a full national midget race. And kind of the difference between what we did with the Focus and these is that the Focus was more of an economical, kind of get everybody involved, have a motor you could race for years on end. Well, the national midgets, we're going from 185 horsepower with the Focus motors to, some of the cars are going to be pushing 375 to 400 horsepower. So a pretty big jump. Problem with that, and something that really hurt the pavement full national midget program is just the cost. A lot of those motors are $50,000 motors, and they really have to be rebuilt at least every season, if not every three to 5 races. And those rebuilds are probably $10,000 a piece. So what makes this package really cool is that this is still just a production-based motor. We're not going to quite make that 375 horsepower that some of these top-of-the-line cars are going to be. We're hoping we're somewhere in the 325 to 330 range. So we're going to be down a little bit on power. But Las Vegas is a 3/8 mile, so I think if we were running anything bigger, a half mile or a 5/8 mile, I think that extra horsepower and top speed would probably make a big difference. But this track is still pretty compact. I think we can get it geared to tailor what we want to do. So, like I said, I really don't know how we're going to stack up to some of the top guys, but we're really excited to see how it goes. There's been a lot of interest in this motor, especially with the National Midget Program, because this is about a $15,000 package to get started with. And if it can be compatible and last for years without having to do anything, we might really open some eyes up and be able to start pavement midget racing back up again. So, with that being said, it's we're just gonna have to see. We did some testing last week up in Meridian, and I can tell you the way we used to run it as a Ford Focus Series class to the way it's set up now is night and day. It has a ton more power, so pretty excited to see what we can do in it. Like Bruce said, we've been going over the last few days after getting home, and you know, it's really going through everything. Like I said, the car's sat for a few years, so just really trying to make sure everything is exactly what we want it to be. So got all the brakes squared away. We've got an idea what we want to do for chassis setup and shocks. So just did a spring change that we think is going to be perfect for what we want to do. You know, getting all new fluids in it, flushed the radiator out, yeah, we're just about there. Car from loading it out of the trailer for years, the nose piece was really beat up, so refiberglassed the nose piece. Bruce said we're building a new belly pan for the engine. Just dragging it in out of the trailer, it would catch on the edges and get beat up. So.
Okay, I heard that we just picked up a sponsor though.
Yeah, so pretty excited. You know, we were racing for a long time. You know, when I first started racing, I kind of lucked into a gig, kind of had a full ride with a team, Mountain Over Racing Enterprise with Guy Remick. You know, we ended up having a 5-car team at one point, you know, with a semi-truck and travel all over the place. Had a ton of fun, you know, was kind of living the paid driver life, if you could say. Really wasn't costing me anything out of pocket. Just going out and winning races, winning championships. But you know, the last few years that we raced, it was you know, just a family thing. Myself, Bruce, and my dad Todd. You know, we just kind of ran as Mad Mike Daniels Racing. You know, with basically no sponsorship. You know, we get a couple $100 here and there from family and friends, which we're super grateful for. Always, and anything helps and goes a really long way. You know, this racing thing is really expensive, and really realizing how much money goes into it, being that we have been in it for a few years. So got the car back. Was really hesitant to start reaching out to people before we knew the car was going to be ready to go for the race, but we got it back, and yeah, I got a call from Bob over at Intermountain Transmission Exchange, and he wanted to know what we were doing for this race and the upcoming season. And I kind of want to know where we were at, that we were, you know, we were just going to go down and run with what we had. And he stepped up and said that he wanted to be our title sponsor, and, you know, hooked it up. So really excited. You know, we've done a bunch of stuff with those guys over the years. You know, they're a great local transmission shop. They service people all over the place, and you know, they ship units out basically all over the country. So they've got a really big name, and super excited to have them on board. So we've got our good friend Monty Bergner from B Graphics is supposed to be coming over tomorrow, getting the car measured up for graphics, and hopefully we've got a pretty cool livery to show off in Vegas. So yeah, I can't thank them enough. Along with you know, we've got a little bit of extra help, you know, family members and some close friends, and like I said, that it means a ton when they can sacrifice just a little bit to help us out, go and have fun. So really excited to have them on board, and just really excited to get down and see what we can do. It's been way too long since we've been behind the wheel of this thing, and you know, getting it back and working on it, we're beyond excited. And the help we're going to get from this sponsorship is huge. You know, we were really stressing, pinching pennies, figuring out the cheapest hotel we could stay at when we get down there, just because every little bit we have needed to go into, you know, getting the car ready to make sure we're on par. We don't want to go down and get our butts kicked. So I can't thank Bob and Brent enough down at Intermountain Transmission Exchange, and yeah, we're about there. So
we are super excited and can't wait. It's like we don't have long to go now, but it'll be here before we know it. So that's what we got. Obviously, he's a Honda guy here. The kids ride, and his wife rides also, which is my daughter. Yeah, there's some trophies right there. He's done pretty well for himself over the years. So there's that. And I don't know what part of the video is going to be in, but I'm going to have some footage of the car running. So, like I say, we're up in Meridian over the weekend, last weekend. So I'll get that footage on here too. So there you go. We're out. I'll get video at the track. Talk to you.